All right, we all are.
Hell yeah.
I don't understand how there's comments already if we're not even live yet. That's so fucking weird. What's going on, guys? So sorry, I lost my thing here. So tonight we are sitting down, hanging out with fucking good friend of ours, Kevin Blomberg from Goat Genetics. If you don't know about Goat Genetics, you definitely should check them out. But we're gonna sit down, talk some breeding, talk state of the community like we always do, and just shoot the shit, touch base on anything that's going on and whatnot. So as always, my fucking partner, fucking Jay Blizzy's with us. So we're gonna get it rolling. What up, Kev?
What's going on, man?
Nothing much, dude. You want to start it off? Hold on one second. Let me pull up my cheat sheet. I actually took notes. Where the fuck did they go? Shit. Did I lose them? Hold on a minute. Sorry, guys. I have to go back to my fucking page. I shut everything off on accident. I take notes now because I can't remember fucking everything, so I write down the questions now like a fucking good little schoolboy. But I also just hit buttons and everything gets shut down. So, all right. So I usually like to start it off, Kev, like I was saying to you, with some light-hearted questions. So I'm going to start it off with this one. So, if you were a terpene, what terpene would you be and why?
Ooh. That's a weird question. So weird. I don't know. I'm just gonna go with alpinine because that's just like my favorite terp. I don't know why.
There's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
Nothing wrong with that at all, brother. So here's one for you. So what would you rather give up, breeding or smoking weed?
Ooh.
Smoking.
Can I eat it? Can I eat it?
Yeah, why the hell not?
just smoking it?
Yeah.
Oof. I don't know.
That's a rough one, right, dude?
Yeah. That's hard.
Yeah.
I mean, hopefully I never have to live in a world where I have to pick one of those.
Yeah, man.
Okay.
What a nightmare. So
both kind of bring you a different pleasure.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know what? See, for me, the breeding would go right away because I can't eat the shit to get stoned. It don't work on me. So I'd just have to give up breeding if I was, if I was in that situation, right off the rip, breeding. Boop, see you later. I'll grow the shit. So, I don't need the breeding part of it.
Yeah, I guess if I had to pick, it'd have to be breeding.
It's a rough one, man, because I couldn't imagine going without fucking, smoking.
No.
You know what I mean? Like that's one of those ones that's pretty rough. But so let's get into it like this. So what originally pulled you into breeding and whatnot? And was it a mentor? Was it a mission? Was it just the state of genetics in a whole? I mean, what actually got you started? And if you wanted to just kind of get into like the your little journey into it, like how it transpired and whatnot.
Yeah, into breeding, not growing, just breeding.
Into breeding, let's go with now growing and let's put it together. Let's do a little growing and breeding, kind of. We'll knock two birds out.
Sure. So the story. Okay. Well, started growing. Oof. I'm not used to these questions. This is the first. 25 years ago.
This is one of your first interviews, right?
This is the first time. Yeah, so 25 years ago, that makes me feel super old. 25 years ago, I started growing. I mean, my grandpa's brother grew, my uncle grew, so it was kind of a thing in the family. But I just started with like those packs, when you get the weed. It wasn't like the bricks. It was like that good mids that was still lime green and crystally, that wasn't like compressed all the way. Yep. I would start taking seeds out of those and planting them in the fields around the house. Then it turned into, making cuts and finding my favorite runs, and then, trekking down some creek for a couple miles where nobody's at and finding somewhere along the bed and planting there. Started indoor, I don't know, maybe like 18 years ago. My uncle put me on indoor. I was always outdoor, still huge outdoor grower. Um, uh, so I started doing that. Then, I was just part of the culture, growing to pay bills. It became that. And then when prices started to go crazy, it was this race. Anybody that's been growing for a long time probably remembers the race where you had to start producing better and better and better just to keep your price where you wanted it so you could survive. And so it was just making our own selections, trying to create something new and exotic. And before I knew it, I had an arsenal of like 70 cuts of stuff that I had created. And I started making seeds, just like little stocks, so I could keep it, so I could get rid of things, but I didn't lose it because I always save everything. And I started giving them to buddies that grow. And, they just started to push me like, you should start doing more. You should sell seeds. If you sold seeds, I'd buy yours over this guy or that guy. So then we started hitting grow shops, and uh, it just took off from there, really. Local grow shops into local seed banks into national, and it just kept going.
Nice.
Yeah. We hooked up with hemp. We hooked up with hemp in 2018 pilot program. One of the first ones. Did a bunch of university studies on that. Started getting into research on THC as well. Not just studying hemp, but studying THC as well. And now we just have like a couple plots where we just do massive testing and report data. And it's awesome for weed nerds like me.
Yeah, and nothing wrong with that. Let me ask you, what was the first cross you ever made that you felt like, yeah, like I'm onto something, like, like where you would.
My first cross I ever made was Black Light. It was Northern Lights and Blackwater.
Nice. And was that the one that made you like, where you were like, I think I'm on to it, like, or was that just the first one? Like, was there one that you were like, I got this down pat?
Honestly, I was never had in my mind to be like a breeder or anything. I just love growing. It's what I do for a living, and it just kind of just taking my surplus seeds of the keepers that I had and putting them out, and it just became a demand, and it just kind of manifested from that.
Yeah, nice. Hold on, let me see here. If talk us through like your breeding philosophy as far as like hunting. Are you hunting traits? Are you chasing flavor? Are you building legacy? Like is there a specific criteria? Like 1, 2, 3 that you have to hit?
Yeah, so it's got to be my style, but sometimes my style switches. So every line's different. If I'm doing fruity lines, I go hard into fruity. I want everything that's fruity, everything that's tangerine, everything that's cherry, everything that's orange. I want to try every single one. I want to find the best, and then I want to create one that actually tastes like what it sounds like, right? I get really, really anal. So like terps, huge. As far as growth characteristics, it just depends on what I'm breeding it for. So if it's like production facility, I want it to, be spaced out. I want it to grow really fast, low leaf to bud ratio, a fast flip kind of strain. I want to promote that. If I'm growing it outdoors, I want it to be fast flowering because we're Midwest. I want thick, sturdy, medium-sized bushes. So it just depends. I don't have like a preference. It's just whatever I'm rooting for.
Nice. Works. Listen. I think I don't think we've had out of the breeders we've had on here, I don't think anybody has a style or like a specific 1, 2, 3. I think the one thing that we usually hear is everybody's looking for good vigor and whatnot, but there's not like a 1, 2, 3 checklist that I'm seeing. Anybody that transpires, it's kind of like going with the flow kind of a thing, more or less.
Sure. Sometimes magic happens, and sometimes it doesn't work out, and you got to do the cross and you got to see, and then you kind of just go off the most dominant, really, out of the line. Unless there's something there that you really want to take out of it. A lot of times, I just go with the most dominant traits.
A lot of times we're just having fun with it. If you're not having fun with breeding anymore, that's when it stops.
Yeah, you got to be the same guy who brought you there. You can't let that switch up, because then everything switches up.
Well, that kind of goes to like what keeps you. Jay, and you can answer this too. Like this, I have no problem with both of you answering this, because it's kind of a question that's curious. What keeps you motivated? You know what I mean? Like what keeps you motivated with how fucked up the industry is, and there's always some cutthroat shit. Prices are going up here, prices are going down there. What keeps what keeps the motivation?
It's a passion project. I try not to rely on it financially, so it doesn't do that to me. It is a lot of pressure. It does switch. You have to read new rules and regulations every year. They're always trying to stick it to you, and it's exhausting sometimes. Trying to keep up with everything that changes. It's not fun or glorious as people would imagine. It's a lot of work. It's a lot of work, but it's a real business. Real business with not a lot of structure.
Real business headaches.
Yeah, exactly. But just keep it fun. It's the passion, man. It's the hunt. It's creating something new and amazing, and just seeing it in other people's gardens, and getting that great feedback, and just like you put all your work, your hard work into something, years of your life, and just seeing everybody else enjoy it, and it's
that's pretty much the same for me. Piggybacking off of what you said is. The whole process is fun. Thinking what you're going to cross next, and imagining how it's going to come out, seeing it show up in other people's gardens, having great gardeners acquire your beans and make these amazing plants that you bred. And like you said, financially, if you depend to live on this, you're in the wrong industry, because we all get it. Sometimes it's taboo for people to think of like making a buck off of cannabis, but the operation does have to be paid for. So at some point, you got to make some money, to keep going and having that fun and passion. But like you said, it's the passion that keeps you kind of zoned in on it. And once you lose that, you might as well get out the game.
Yeah. I see. And you can tell. You can tell when guys lose the passion. You know what I mean? Like, or they just want to take an out, like it's amazing, how fast people's fucking gear just tails right off when they lose it, and it's like, if you're to that point, it's, to me, you should give up instead of fucking up people's gardens, you know what I mean, and taking money. Or some people just go for that cash grab, and it annoys the hell out of me, bro. I can't stand that,
Yeah. A lot of big brands.
When a popular cut gets out to the public, and then there's like a new femline drop of it like 2 months later.
Yeah. And it sucks, because there's a lot of people that I used to run their gear, and I still run other people's gear sometimes, when I'm looking for something, and there's like go-to people that I used to use that just turn to shit, and you could tell they're trying to keep up with demand, and or they're hiring kids to do it so that they can travel and do whatever, and it just you're an artist, and you're not doing the paintings anymore, or you're printing them so that you can get as many out as you can. It's just, it all goes, down the drain.
It goes to shit. I mean, listen, I'm in the position where I can say whatever the fuck I want and not care about it. So, like companies, let's say Exotic is going to be an example of mine. At one point, their gear was all right. Then it started tailing off once the fucking money started rolling in good. And then the fucking sellout happens, and everything just goes. The fucking nosedive, you know what I mean? The quality, the herms, just completely shit the bed, So that is something. It's like, bro, if you're going to fucking be on the out, like, I'd rather shut my company down and sell out of inventory and stuff like that, than to sell my name and sell my legacy to fucking somebody else that's just going to torch it. You know what I mean? Like, to me, that legacy is worth more than anything, because you've only got fucking two things in the world, that you don't break. One's your name, your word, and your balls. You got to word to people that fucking you got quality gear. The second you give it to somebody else, doesn't matter who it is, the quality drops because it's not you anymore. You know what I mean? It's not, like you said, it's not that passion. It's looked at as dollars and cents, and not, putting medicine in people. You know what I mean? So that shit annoys the holy balls off me.
Yeah.
So what do we got here? So are there any three like parent strains that you lean on, in your stable, or is it just, is there, or is it constantly just a new evolution of stuff, or is there something that you try to get in with, as much as you can?
So I've got a room that's got about 18 cuts that I have had for 10 years or more. And I started playing. I took them, F2, F3, and I still won't release them as their self. I just use them in the line. So, glazed cherry pie. That's my all-time favorite.
I actually ran that. It was one of the first ones I ran of yours, I think.
Yeah. So I don't know if I would release that, or if it's just something I would just keep bouncing off of other things. The Goat Tangerine, I haven't released that yet. I keep crossing it back with other things. There's just certain things I don't want to let go of until I'm done with them. And I've done everything I want with it, because I feel it's that special.
Is the Goat Tangy the one that I ran for the what do you call it, a couple years ago, or is that the purple Tangy one, or is that a different one?
There was the purple Tangerine, which is the fast photo, but I think you've ran both of them. And you have chocolate Tangerine right now, right?
Yeah. I'm running that now. Yep.
Yeah.
I can get some good genetics here in the UK. Kev, do you send to the UK? Does Multiverse or any of them send over to the UK?
Chi-Town Seeds. Chi-Town Seeds is awesome at overseas. I don't know how he does it. I don't know his secret, but he gets them there quick and easy, and there's never a problem.
That's always a good thing to know for our UK friends.
So that's cannabis, and that's where you can order for any of Goat stuff, and he will send to the UK. Just know that with anything that's getting shipped overseas, if customs gets it, you know what I mean. That's a what do you call it, that you have to take. You can't. In my eyes, you can't take a chance like that and then go back and say, "Hey, listen, my shit was taken by customs. Fuck, can I get a refund?" So just be aware, that if you're gonna do it, there's always a chance, especially with the U.S. Post Office with their new bullshit, it's
what happened in the good old days when you just tore into a DVD case or a box trying to find it. You had to contact them, like, where are they?
Send a pair of shitty panties and fucking
some people hit them really good.
Yeah.
Back in the day, it was puzzles and a puzzle box.
Bro, a pen, fucking take the fucking inkwell out of the pen and drop the seeds.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
I had one person put them inside the ruffles of the cardboard box. In between the layers.
Right in the corrugated shit. Yeah.
Genius. That's genius.
That's a good idea, bro. Fucking, that really is a good idea.
Yeah.
So Kevin, I got a question for you. This is kind of a topic that's pretty much mandatory for all breeders and growers alike, and that's hermaphroditic traits. And you kind of partway answered, or what I've got from you is on how you navigate that. For me, the biggest thing is knowing your lineage. If you have a vast knowledge of your lineage, you know what works, what doesn't work, what's sexually stable, what's not. Knowing that you keep your genetics, your breeding stable 10 years plus, you know how they perform. What other ways should you or other breeders go about to kind of, even if it's an F1, if it's an F2, to go about kind of mitigating these hermaphroditic tendencies?
Yeah, well, so it's hard. It's hard
It
to
is hard.
guess what's going to happen, right? Because sometimes it's recessive for a
Mm-hmm.
generation or two, and then all of a sudden, bang, it hits. I can tell you the way that I breed, I take a long time. So I'll have a room, and I'll have I'll run all my pollen. I might do 4 or 5 different pollens at one time. I dry and I store. That's how I do it. I don't pollinate that way. I do natural selection pollination only. But so what I'll do is I'll pollinate like 40 or 50 different plants, what I think will be good crosses, and I'll only do a branch of it. So like 100, 150 seeds maybe tops. Then I do full runs off of those, full testers. I'm not releasing any of that. And because when you do it, like I said, magic happens sometimes, and sometimes it's crap, right? And so
Yep.
you can't make crosses and think it's going to be great just because they're 2 good plants and put it out. So a lot of times, and I don't put it on my packs, but almost everything is an F2, that I
Nice.
put out. I run them, and then I will find my favorites and I'll take them back. And if something's kind of pushing out traits, herm traits are like just some weird traits, maybe I'll self and then I'll just go back and play. Uh, I had that collab with Belief that I canceled, and he had sent me all those cuts, and I'd say almost everything I bred with this shit had problems and mutations and just like weirdness. I didn't even release it. You think it's going to be good, and then that next line is you just see all the
wonky shit.
all the Whitakers come out.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the big thing about breeding is like we're kind of trying to play God here, and ultimately the plant's going to do what it wants to do, and that's for itself to breed, and we're always going to be fighting those tendencies. So
all it wants to do is fucking continue its fucking its lineage. It's just like everything else. Fucking whether it's a plant or
it doesn't care what we want. It wants to move on. We're sexually frustrating these females. And some of them are going to pop some stuff off because in the end, that's what they want to do is to pass on their genes.
Yeah, it's all they're doing, everything the plant does is just to reproduce. I mean, every little thing, and understanding why the plant does what it does when it does it is the best way, to push it to its limits, I guess you could say. And become a pro because I think so many people don't know even just that why the plant does what it does, and it's all just reproductive. It's
like when you get people who say, "Oh, you can't pick a plant when there's white hairs on it." It's like the fucking thing's going to continue to throw white hairs as long as you keep it going.
Oh, some people will throw that all all the way to the end.
But that's because all it's trying to do is get laid. You know what I mean? Like that's all it wants to do. Like, and people think they're like, "Oh, you can't pick it." It's like, okay, then fucking sit there for the next 16 fucking months, waiting for the fucking thing to turn orange. You know what I mean? It's insanity. It drives me bonkers. But so we have a fucking Jeff Arthur's in the house. So Jeff's got a question. He said, how did you come to find Chi-Town Slurry?
How did I come to find it?
How did you come to find it? Was it planned? Was it
It wasn't planned. Bahama Runch line. I did I think 28 different crosses. After running everything, I narrowed it down to 12. 12 where they popped. It was completely stable. Everything was popping, looking good. There weren't runs. They're semi-uniform. They were my style, I guess you could say. So wasn't planned. It's just one of those things that
one of those happy ones. So we got another one here from the audience too. So why kill the mutants? Why would you keep looking for the same thing everybody's already found? Why not make something out of the mutants?
Because I like mutants. So I have like some Goat Tangerine cuts that they mutate. The leaves get all weird. They get variegated sometimes. But we live in a world where if I were to release that line and people got these variegated leaves, they would start shouting TMV. They would start shouting disease. It is a business at the same time, and there's a lot of people out there who have nothing better to do than just nitpick you and try to destroy you on social media. And so for me, I almost don't want to release stuff like that just for that reason. I do keep them. I do play with them. One of my favorite plants, the goat tangerine. It's like I said, it gets variegated. It gets really weird sometimes. I think it's a microbial thing, honestly. But that's just my take on it.
Yeah, there's, I look at it like it's preference. It's preference over anything else too. Some people, like you said, don't want to put out certain things because it's exactly that. You're gonna have you get that one person whose mouth's big enough. You know what I mean? It could fucking take down anything.
Yeah, that's on every social media platform there is, and has nothing better to do but jump on there and.
This guy's game sucks.
Yeah.
So here's one for you. So what's your idea of the perfect male plant?
Oh, that's a good one.
Oh gosh.
Is there a perfect male plant?
So if I'm doing regs, which I haven't done in a while because nobody wants to grow them anymore for some reason.
I love them.
I still love them. I keep them for my own stock. So I'm usually just looking for one that's got the same stem rub and the same structure and the closest thing, honestly, to whatever female I'm trying to put it on. I don't have a preference on that. It's usually I've got my girl and I'm trying to stabilize her, and I'm looking for a male that's as close to her as possible.
Compatible. Yeah, it's compatible.
Yeah. And now they got in the studies, I mean, now if you got money, you could take a complete genetic profile of your girl that you love and you can get the full breakdown, and then you can run a bunch of males and look for the ones that are like closest to her, send all those out, find a male that has the closest genetic build to the female, and then you could cross those and have something more stable than an F5, So
aren't they doing CRISPR too with the shit now? Also, aren't they CRISPRing this stuff where they're actually fucking adding specific traits to the to runs and whatnot?
I think they are, but I'm not.
That shit's crazy. That CRISPR stuff, man. They literally could fucking you could do anything you want with it. You can literally make the plant fucking look like Howdy Doody, probably. You know what I mean? Like,
they're doing some crazy things. I mean, even in the hemp world, just all the university studies, like, just blew my mind. And once you put money and people behind really studying the plant, like, just how much you can learn and hop on, start reading some university studies on like type 3 hemp. You'll just learn so much. That's not out there anywhere else, just like why the plant does what it does when it does it, like what's making the terps spike. They'll take cuts and send them to different places, all over the US with different soil composition, different weather, different feeds, and they'll log it all. And then they'll say, why is this one got higher THC? Why is this one's terp so high? What happened to this one that it yielded twice as much? And they compile all that data, and you can just convert that over to your cannabis grow.
And you kind of made a good point when it comes to regs, and like we love to do what we do, but at the end of the day, like I said, these lights got to be paid for, and like you said, no one likes to buy regs. And when I said that's the biggest lie ever, that's because when people get on social media, they're like, "Oh, I love regs. I love regs." It's just a popular thing to say. No one is actually buying them as much as people are buying femmes. And that's just the nature of the business. If you want to stay doing what you're doing, you're gonna have to make some coin at the end of the day.
Look, femmes, that's what's bottlenecking the fucking industry to holy hell is all those goddamn femmes, It's literally. If people don't start, getting into regs and whatnot and stuff that's not, 40, 50 fucking different lineages going down it, a cleaner fucking genetic, let's say, it's going to be a problem, and it's not going to take much longer to where it really is. a problem. You know what I mean? Like it's
regs are
insane.
fun. Regs are fun. You know,
I love
regs could be fun.
I love them. I love them. No bullshit. It's the best fucking plants that I do is regs usually. Like I have a couple of regs going now, you know, and one of the ones that I'm doing it's Root Beer Pebbles F2, and the fucking thing is just gorgeous, bro. It is such a fucking nice plant, man. And out of everything else, as far as like femmes and stuff like that, you can see the difference in the structure and everything. It's a rock star, bro. I can't wait to fucking get this thing blooming, you know?
And why is it? Is it just people just don't want to wait for sexing, or?
Yeah, well, that's the thing is that most people are fucking lazy, or they're just plain fucking stupid and can't fucking figure out sex on a plant. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's ridiculous. It's like you had to have gotten hit in the head with a fucking spatula or something to fucking be this dumb, because all you got to do is flip the fucking thing for 24 hours and go right back to your fucking cycle. And the thing's going to tell you. It's
now,
that simple.
All you got to do is CFLs. There's been a lot of studies on that. If you have CFL lights, that little flicker, our eyes can't see it, but there's a flicker. It's a constant flicker. And it doesn't turn the plants, but it makes them show sex way earlier. So when you're still in that solo cup on like the 4th, 5th node, they're showing their pre-sex pistils really early.
Yes, that's fucking awesome. What, just as easy. You fucking throw the thing into 24 hours of dark and then go right back to your fucking bed cycle. And within 7 days, you're ready to roll. You can just throw everything in the fucking garbage, you know?
Yeah, there's all kinds of tricks. Like you said, there's tricks to kind of like mitigate your time on taking for males. You know, you can make it happen. It's just like you said, people get lazy or they just don't want to do it. Or
bro, it's literally. A lot of the fucking stuff is I don't have enough space. It's like you can literally people think that you need a fucking a pot this big or a fucking 30 fucking solo cups. It's like you can get a fucking Dixie cup this big, put some cereal in it, and run your fucking plant. And you could put 600 of those little motherfuckers everywhere, and you could do you could do a pheno hunt so easy. You know what I mean? Like
that's when you transition to cocoa, so you can keep a lot more around.
Yeah, a fucking a clone tent that's 2 feet by 2 feet. You can stuff 900 of the fucking things in there. It's insane. The laziest kind of fucking growing is that shit. When you hear people, there's not enough room to hunt the regs, bro. If you can put 600 fucking femmes in the tent, right? It's like, but what's the difference with the I'm not going to keep them. I run more packs where every time I start something, it doesn't matter what it is. If there's fucking 10 in the pack, if it's femmes, all 10 get started. And 8 or 9 of them right in the garbage. If they're not doing if there's the one, I'm looking for the one. So if people are worried about money, you're out of your fucking mind. You got into the wrong hobby. You know what I mean? Like, if you're one of those guys who's buying a 6-pack and you're like, with your one seed, and you're like, please, Lord, let this little motherfucker come up.
I can't do it. That would haunt me in my dreams if I didn't pop at least 20 of them.
Yeah, bro. Yeah. These guys, run. What do you got running? Well, I've got fucking Dosito, fucking Green Mamba, fucking Black Mamba. My mama's got big titties, fucking, everything else. And it's like, how many of them are you running? One of each. Like, man, the chances of you catching a rock star are fucking slim to none. That's why you see guys with fucking plants that
unless you're growing goat.
Huh?
Unless you're growing goat. You can just pop one.
You just pop one and fucking, a leprechaun pops out the motherfucker with a pot of gold.
Hell yeah.
But, so hold on, let me get my fucking list open here. So here's a question for you. Do you remember the first moment you sold your first pack? Do you still remember it? Your first pack sale or nah?
I don't know my first pack sale. My first bulk sale to a shop, so I ran around the shops at first and just took freebies and packaged them up, and I gave them to shops, and then said, hey, just hand them to people, and some of them didn't even want to, but I'd bring in flower samples and I would win them over, a lot of times, and then I just wait for the people to come back and ask for more, and then the shops, 9 out of 10 times place an order, and so my first order was homegrown supplies in St. Charles. My first, it was like $1,000 order or something.
Nice. I think
Yeah.
people are inherently lazy is what it comes down to, with stuff. People think that, they're going to breed some fucking plants. They're going to sit there and, the skies are going to fucking part like, Moses through the Red fucking Sea. And all of a sudden there's going to be a crowd of people waiting there like, please let us have your packs. It's like, get off your ass, stop fucking sitting on social media and being a fucking troll, and go hustle. You know what I mean? Go out to shops, put your work out there, But I think what it comes down to is a lot of people are just fucking lazy and think that, magic's going to happen somehow and they're going to all of a sudden be, fucking cap junkie or something. You know what I mean? Like, it's absolutely amazing how many people fucking, oh, well, my packs aren't selling. Well, what did you do for yourself? Did you advertise? Well, I put a couple of fucking ads in some groups, It's like, the same groups that everybody's waiting for fucking freebies, you idiot,
Yeah, and the sad thing is freebie is the game to get started. I mean, if you're really wanting to get into it, you better just scrap a couple runs and just send them to the world, because it's the only way you're going to get going, really.
Yeah, it's like you have to fucking be a hustler, man. Fucking, if you're not hustling, fucking, you're dead in the water, bro. You know what I mean?
And even though we're in the social media age, for breeders like me and Kevin here, like you guys all know, I've been annexed off of anything Meta, Facebook, and Instagram. So like you go through it too. Like, what do you say, Dave? Pigeonholing yourself in one spot, and that's going to be the downfall. Like, if you got all your eggs in one basket on Facebook, and like it happened to me, where you're permanently deleted, kind of fucked.
You got to fucking rebuild that momentum, bro, and it's a motherfucker. You know what I mean?
It's definitely hard, even though this is like the technological age, and you'd think that would be like helpful, but it's for this industry, it could be a double-edged sword.
Yeah, I think that, I'll say this, one of the best things that could have happened was fucking Facebook tossing me off of it, you know what I mean, for the most part, fucking ruining all the groups and stuff like that, because the second fucking I got off of there, I fucking made, a couple of fucking maneuvers, and now everything, we talk fucking all these different fucking companies, fucking, I got working with me now. I've been offered fucking contracts, fucking, 4 years on fucking Facebook, Granted, I was always able to get stuff and whatnot, but now I'm getting fucking contract offers where it's fucking paid to do what I was doing. You know what I mean? Like, and that happened like ding, bang, boom. Once on top of it, it's like, it's the professionalism. You're gonna be a professional fucking anything. Facebook is not the place for it. It's a fucking. It's like it's like romper room. Fucking, you know what I mean? Like kindergarten. Fucking on there. Everybody's running around fucking chucking shit and fucking stealing each other's lunch. It's insane.
Social media is exhausting too. It's a full-time job when you get to a certain point. I still try to answer all my messages, and I mean that gets overwhelming. It's like I got to spend 2 hours a day doing this now.
Listen, the fucking stress levels that were just relieved and everything. Like, granted, I miss fucking with certain people, you know what I mean? But at the end of the day, I'm here for me, to grow in the community and whatnot, to do my thing. I have certain things that I want to do, and fucking just that whole thing, it's like a fucking black hole. You know what I mean? You just get sucked into it, and it's just, you're existing, but you're not evolving. You know what I mean? Like, and that's the major problem with that, with certain sites. But then plus, look at what happens. All of a sudden, fucking everything you work for is gone overnight. You know what I mean? Because some asshole fucking has a problem with you, like that dickhead Franklin Beans. Rob fucking running around like a bitch because nobody wants to buy his shit. Shutting down everybody's sites, shutting down fucking breeders.
I'm sure there's a corporate agenda to all this as well.
The what?
I'm sure there's a corporate agenda to all this.
There's a lot to it, but
there's some lobbying going on.
Yeah, but a lot of it has to do with, douchebags too. You know what I mean? It's you just something. I'm sorry. I'm just glad that the fucking whole thing, because Facebook. I don't care. People think that this whole new thing happened with Facebook that they allowed searching for cannabis and whatnot. Yeah, if you read between the lines, it's searching for cannabis and they're allowing certain ads because they realize they're leaving money on the fucking table. It didn't change anything in the groups. It didn't change anything about the community standards and whatnot. You still fucking people are getting shut down left and right. Still, people are still getting banned. So this whole big push that, Meta fucking, had an epiphany about weed. No, they didn't. They're just realizing that. Yeah, they're just realizing that there's money left on the fucking table and they want it. You know what I mean? And for advertising. But the fucked up thing is, people that are paying for the advertising are getting fucking banned after their advertising comes out. So tell me how that changed.
Still getting billed for it.
Yeah, there you go. You're still getting billed for it.
And I'm permanently deleted.
Jeez. I will tell you, like, Instagram's a powerhouse for a breeder.
If you have to play the fucking game right with that, though, man. You know what I mean? Like,
and some of the growers that are here live right now, just popping the gear and just posting pictures of it. I mean, it's just
listen. I like Instagram, but the one thing about it is there's there has to be a certain amount of like fucking like interaction and whatnot, and the interaction on it's kind of fucking lacking. Like you can't if you want to comment on something, you can't fucking toss a picture up. Like let's say you made a post, you guys, either one of you're breeders, you throw a post up about your stuff, blah blah blah. And Harry, Dick, and Tom want to throw up pictures of what they're doing with your gear. You can't. You know what I mean? Like it's just fugazi the way they do it. It's just, I don't know, man. I think Instagram has potential, but they have to make it a little bit more interactive between people. So you know what I mean? Like I think that's where the major lack is.
Platform.
Yeah, well, listen. I'm almost there. Fucking, if I wish I could, I'm not pulling up anything on fucking any websites or anything because all I need is some asshole to fucking steal the idea fucking that I'm building because it's coming out good, bro. Yeah, I'm gonna tell you right now, if all I need is to, is once it starts, I can tell that it's gonna be right. It's gonna take a second for people to kind of get to it and whatnot. But once people start fucking with it, I think it's gonna take off. And I'm fucking half retarded. I'm not gonna be able to run no social media shit, bro. I can barely tie my sneakers. So I'm gonna need to have fucking someone with a brain running this fucking thing because I'll tank it. It's bro. I don't even know how I'm even figuring out how to do this shit, bro. I'm just watching videos and and literally like learning it to write it. And I've been doing it now since January, writing this fucking thing. And I just keep getting it bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. I actually turned myself into the fucking AI, like I was saying last week. So it's skunk, like when you need it, like let's say you have a question or whatever, it's me. It's my little skunkle character, the little skunk guy, right? But he's just like me, fucking. So you're gonna get answers like, "Hey, asshole, fucking, it's a magnesium deficiency." You know what I mean? Like it's gonna fuck with you. It's gonna straight just fuck with you. It's hilarious, bro. But I was able to turn my little skunkle character have a little hot personality from fucking Brooklyn. So if your plant's all fucked up, it'll tell you like, "Oh, bro, just kill it."
Yeah, you fucking hump.
Yeah, you hump. You fucking hump.
It's like learning a new language every time I talk to you, man.
I was going to comment on that earlier. I love catching some vocab.
Yeah. It's a language lesson. You know what I mean? Like I have people ask me all the time, like, "What in the fuck does that word you just said mean?" I'm like,
crazy.
Like last week I used the word fanuc, and fucking I had like 10 people ask me, "What the fuck is a fanuc?" But it
it's like a whatchamacallit.
No, fanuc's like a pickle muncher, like fucking like that, So, so here we go. Do you have actually, I guess we carried that with a cover. I was going to say, do you have a flagship strain? But you kind of said the glazed cherry pie is kind of your flagship strain, right?
Yeah, it's my favorite.
That's I remember I ran that probably one of the first couple I ran was the glazed cherry pie. I think my buddy Brian might have ran that one too. I think I sent it out to him. He did it outdoors. It came out lovely.
Yeah, it's a weird one because it's my favorite. Some of my buddies that have been running it for years, it's still their all-time favorite. But I could enter it in every cup and it won't even place, you know.
That's
You know,
insane.
and it's one of those weird ones, but it's just one of those ones you never get tired of. It hits you the same every time, and it's just so complex and different. But I guess everything's like an acquired taste, you know, and
Yeah, some people, it doesn't matter what it is. There's always that group that'll, complain about it, or oh, it's not, it don't hit that hard, and it's like the fucking thing's absolute gas, But
yeah.
there's just some people that no matter what, they'll never say it is. You know what I mean? Like it's just one of those things, bro. It's bullshit. That's it is how it is. Yeah, but so you can answer this question or you can leave it alone. Fucking is there any wild collabs coming down the line with you that you want to give a little teaser on, maybe?
Yeah, we're doing I could talk about those. So I've been going hard on a few. I was trying to so last year as I grow a little in the industry and start to rub elbows with some other people that I used to follow, or that I just think align well with me and my standards. I've been reaching out trying to do collabs. So we have I'll probably be releasing the first half of a lot of them at the end of this year. But we have Brother Mendel. We're doing like a pineapple and tangerine fast photo. I've already been testing it. I'm going to be putting it in the tester lot this year for outdoor as well, just to test it outside. And then we have a pineapple guava auto that we're working on. F2 right now. Going to run that outdoor as well. I always run everything in and outdoor. And then Mendo Dope Boys. I've got the Hetty 1 and their Hetty's cut. I'm the only person they've given the Hetty's cut to. We're running off of that. So the first thing we're going to do, I created fast photos. We're running those in the lots. We're going to find our best ones. We're going to take the Hetties back to auto form. And then we're also going to do some photo period down the road. And same with Skunk and Purple Caper. Julie from Skunk Magazine and Purple Caper. We're working on off of Frank's 1,000 plant skunk hunt. He sent me 3 of his favorite cuts, and we're gonna do fast photo back to auto, and then we're gonna do some photo period process as well. But first, I'm just working on fast photo this season and converting them back to autos. And I'd say before the grow season next year, we should probably be able to drop most of those things the first half, anyways.
Nice.
Yeah.
I like that, bro. I like that. I think collabs are important. If the collabs are proper, you have to have the fucking right people. Because there's always those people. Yeah, there's always those assholes that talk a good game and then they fucking wind up either stealing your gear or fucking putting it on the back burner like and like a fuck you, and you wind up doing the work and they want they're all about this. So that's a tremendous thing.
No, yeah, and they have to align. Like Brother Mendel, he's super chill, stays out of the light. Like he's kind of like me. He's kind of a hermit. He just you're with your plants and your family, and whatever. That's what it is. I'm not out there very much. The boys, they've been advocating and organic and growing outdoors for years. We just we have a lot in common with all of that. I used to grow Purple Caper back in the day with Frank, and Julie's a good friend. She's just awesome people with Skunk Magazine, and they are, they just all align with my values as far as, how things go in the industry. That's what I'm going to do. I don't care what your name is. Just, we gotta be cool. And we gotta have good, our values have to align.
My name's Mud. My name's Mud. My name's Mud. So let's see here. Have you? Let's see. Do you prefer working from clone only, elites, reg seeds, land races when you build your lines? Is there any specific, or is it kind of a combination of things?
Like I said, I fixate on terps. So if I'm doing something, it doesn't matter what it is. I'm going for that. Like, like I said, if I'm going for grapes, I want every grape there is. It doesn't matter what it is. And I want every one. I want to run as many as possible, make sure I find that right one. So I'm very terp specific. Like right now, I just got done with all the fruits. So we still have a lot to release. But now I'm in the gas, garlic, and burnt rubber, so I don't care what it is. I'll run it. I just want those terps. If it's cherry, I want it to taste like cherry, not trap cherry, old school cherry. If it's grape, I want it to taste like grape. Tangerine, I want it to taste like tangerine. I want
What
to
do you think
find.
about breeders that fixate like on fucking strength over fucking over anything? Like that's their main modality to building up or something. Do you think that's foolish?
Strength?
Or, yeah. Huh?
I mean, you could. I feel like every line you go through, you can find some strong ones if you hunt enough, and you can work off of that. Maybe it's good to have a good, strong, hardy one in your arsenal that, you take into something weak, and bounce it back. But to me, that seems like too much work and unnatural. I just go with the flow, man, and what works, and what doesn't. I don't keep chasing my tail.
Yeah. I hear you on that one, definitely. I think that's the problem with a lot of breeders is that they get stuck in that, like that tunnel vision, you know what I mean? Where it's the same thing over and fucking over again, where it's like, man, it's like, do you not notice like you're just pretty much doing the same fucking thing constantly? To me, it's insanity, bro. You'll see guys that literally do, it's like, you grow fucking 6 different fucking phenos, 6 different strains, and it's literally the same fucking thing across the board. You're like, what did you do here? It makes no sense to me. But let's see. Have you ever had a cross that you thought would be fire, but it turned out just completely underwhelming?
Yeah. It's everything I crossed with belief.
Fuck that guy.
Actually, you know what? We had the goat glue from the White Bergen, and goat glue was pretty amazing. And there's still good stuff. You could find it, but you're going to pop them. There's going to be some runts. There's going to be some mutants. You might have a herm, and to me, that's just not worth putting out.
Yeah, I hear you on that one, definitely. Nothing worse than fucking popping fucking seeds, and you pop 20 of them, and every one of them is a funky little turd that's just not worth a dick. You know what I mean? Like, yeah. Oh, it's the worst feeling, bro. When you're just like, man, like I thought one of them would be good, and you're just like, woof, right into the dumpster. Oh, nothing worse than that feeling.
Especially that seedling stage, it takes forever.
Bro, there's not those
try cloning weeks.
Yeah, the first few weeks, bro, is just like, man, especially like when they just turn to shit, and they're not worth it. You're just like, man, it's slow enough the beginning, like sometimes. So you gotta scrap them. Oh, it's just such a kick in the balls.
Oh yeah, well, I usually pop 2 seeds actually in a pot, 2 or 3 at a time, and then I'll just pull 2 out and just pick the best looking one, the most vigorous looking one, just to not waste time.
Yeah, it's a good idea. I never even I use those little tiny cups, so fucking I can't fit many in them. Fucking but that's a good idea though. Start tossing a bunch of them in one. How important is lab testing data to your selection process compared to your nose and personal experience? So do you not even test? Is
all I care about is diseases. Yeah, I just care about diseases. That's all I care about. I know from smelling it and smoking it, if it's something real good. I mean, we get a lot of things tested, and we get THC percentages and terp percentages, and we grow outdoors. We do washes now. Harris Hash, he's one of my partners. He washes everything that we grow just to get wash reports. But I don't really care about all that. I just, like I said, I'm a terp fiend.
Here's a question for you. Does bag appeal have any kind of a thing to you? Like, when you're done, like, does it matter to you as far as like, how great it looks, if it still fucking kicks and whatnot? Is that even in the lane or not really?
Oh yeah, bag appeal is important because we taste with our eyes too. It's part of it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It's taboo to think, like, oh, it just looks good or whatever. But I mean, as long as you're adding the other characteristics with it, because we all know like breeding bag appeal isn't so difficult, but neither is putting in the other stuff. So I mean, there's no reason not to add terpenes to bag appeal or vigor or structure. But yeah, bag appeal is very important.
How do you balance maintaining genetic diversity with creating a stable, uniform product?
Say that again.
How do you balance maintaining genetic diversity with creating a stable, uniform product? It's one of those deep ones.
Yeah.
So, you know what? Let's fuck that one because that's one of those ones that your brain, even my brain hurts asking it.
We're gonna need to smoke a joint and sit in a circle for that one.
You wait till I take a big ass dab and then you ask me.
So here's one for you.
I run a lot. I've run a lot. Run hundreds of thousands outdoor and I lots and lots of testing.
Where do you see the future of cannabis breeding? More hype cuts, more heritage work, or something in between?
Oh man. Hopefully there is a future. Hopefully there is a future for breeding and they don't take it all from us. It's hard to guess because part of my job is to guess what the next thing is. What's the next hype? What's where is it going? And it's so hard to predict that. I think we'll just find out. The plant's going to evolve as we go, and people are going to want different things.
And you know what? And just there's so much shit that really hasn't even been found on this planet that eventually people are going to start fucking popping up with stuff that's going to literally change the fucking the entire demographic anyway. You know what I mean? All you need is a couple of undiscovered fucking land races, whatever you want to whatever they would be termed, and it's going to change the whole fucking trajectory of the fucking breeding anyway. You know what I mean? Like.
Yeah, I'm enjoying the comeback of the land races, and
there's a lot of people. There's a couple of guys on LinkedIn that I've been following that are really heavy into bringing back a lot of those land races and stuff. And some of the stuff is just crazy looking, like the Balochistan and shit like that. Man, it's like I wish that more people would start building their own fucking genetics. Instead of using stuff that's lineages that have been around forever, do-si-dos and fucking ho-si-hos and hoo-hoos and ha-has, whatever the fuck you want to call them, start throwing in, like, where you're taking fucking, a couple land races yourself, putting them together, and then fucking, take another, put them together, and start building them back. There's nobody really doing that kind of work right now, you know what I mean? Like, and when it happens, that shit's going to be dope, bro, because people will actually get, a real lesson in what fucking genetics, the clean genetics, I guess you could say, stuff that's not fucking, watered down now really are, because sativas they can keep, if the fucking every sativa on the planet disappeared tomorrow, I'd be the happiest motherfucker going, so I hate sativas, bro. Fucking make my skin crawl, it's worse. Fucking, I'd rather drink fucking sewer water than fucking smoke sativas. I think sewer water would give me a better high. But
I've had a couple good ones, but
every time I smoke them, bro, I'm fucking jittery as a fucking start. Looking around, fucking looking at through the blinds. You don't
want to flower something for 6 months,
bro. I don't want to fucking flower something for 6 minutes, let alone fucking 6 months. You know what I mean? Like if I was one of those, like I Dream a Genie and I can just do the, and fucking flick my fucking ponytail and shit was done, I'd be fucking flicking that motherfucker all over the place,
Yeah.
So Here's one for you. What advice would you give to your younger self before your first breeding project?
Ooh.
Take another dab. Maybe it'll come to you.
Yeah, maybe. Before my first breeding project, run more. Run more. Run as many as you can.
Yeah, that's good advice. You know,
Yeah.
I like that one.
I got a for you, Kevin.
Okay.
What we all know, like there's when it comes to breeding and running a business, that there's certain difficulties with it. I think you could agree with me that the actual process of breeding isn't difficult. So when it comes to either you're established or you're some pop-up breeder, what is your biggest difficulty when it comes to running this type of operation and breeding?
My biggest difficulty, I would just say, from my sibling, it's all the rules and regulations, having to stay on top of everything all the time. Them changing it and lobbying so much. It's almost a full-time job just dealing with that and making sure you're ahead of everything. It's a really risky business to get into because you could go for years and you could build something up, to a global scale, and in the drop of a dime, it can go back to black market.
Yep. Absolutely.
That's
as far as
marvels in.
As far as well, you're saying global and whatnot now. What countries are your genetics in? Is there any other countries that your genetics are in, like where people can actually go and buy them?
Yeah, you could get them in. Let's see, Thailand. You could pick up our flower in Thailand. Well, now they just changed everything in Thailand too. I just read.
Oh, did they really?
They just recriminalized it, but we were hooked up with Thai Kush out there. They run a bunch of our strains in the facilities. You can get our flower out there.
So it's illegal now over there, huh?
I think they just revoked all the licenses. I got to go back and read. I was just reading Illinois' thing because they keep going back, so I'm trying to keep up. Like I said, it's a full-time job. You're trying to keep up with everything, but we're gonna be in South Africa. We should be in France soon. It just depends. Some people are running our flower in different places, but our seeds aren't everywhere. Yeah, that's another game. You got to get phytos. You got to like run each strain and get it tested. Through the USDA for all kinds of different diseases, and get clearance for each strain, before you can ship legally to other countries. And, it's kind of, something we're just getting into, trying to navigate.
China? Did you say China?
No, China.
Oh, I was going to say, fucking hell, what the fuck? I mean, like China of all places. You fucking smoke a joint in China, they'll cut your head off, Yeah.
Nope.
Some wild ass shit like that. So here's one for you. If you could smoke one strain for the rest of your life, any breeder, any cut, what is it?
Glazed cherry pie.
This fucking glazed cherry pie.
That's it. That's my girl. I mean, if I could smoke, I'd keep it. I always think about it like this, like back when things were black market, right? It was a different world, right? Back then, and you always had like plans in place, like, well, if they come banging down the door, or if you get, things get close, you get those knock and talks, you got to tear down somewhere. You always have like this pre-plan, like which ones am I keeping, right?
What am I running down the block with on my back?
Can go. That's just always been my number one. I don't know. At this point, I think it's just like one of my children. It's been so long. It's older than my daughter. I've been raising it longer than I've been raising my daughter. So, it's just like.
How old is Debbie McGillicuddy? That fucking kid, man. Almost killed me.
You care for them every day. You keep them alive. When you keep something alive for that long, it really is. It's,
Have you thought about getting into tissue culture and shit, Kev? What do you think about tissue culture?
I've been playing with it. I don't trust it enough yet. I love the concept of not having to keep a couple hundred mothers and make cuts constantly, and being able to go out of town for more than 2 days.
That's
At a
big.
time.
That's huge.
I love that, but I don't trust it enough
You don't
yet.
think
But
it's
I
there
have
yet?
been playing with it. I have been
You don't
playing.
think it's there yet, huh?
I'm not there yet. I don't
Oh,
know
all
what's
right.
there. I just started playing with it, but I
Pretty
just
cool shit.
I'm not there yet.
It's a pretty cool concept, you know what I mean? Like as far as like, especially for being able to get the fuck out of Dodge, you know, it's like, you know, and just, I mean, think about all the fucking electricity, everything that you save, and the fucking space and everything. Like, just imagine, I mean, if you have 100 something fucking, you know, mothers going or whatever, you cut that out. That's just pheno hunting room now. You know what I mean? Like to me,
Yep.
it's like a no brainer. You know, like even like me, like I don't have a lot of space. You know what I mean? I'm in an apartment, so fucking it's a different ball game. So like even for me, like I've been thinking about doing the tissue culture just so I can keep stuff. Like I can't, I can keep a mother or two, you know what I mean? But then it's like that, even that is cumbersome, you know, because then I'm fucking, you know, I'm stuck without one of my kids, you know.
Yeah, yeah.
So, but I've been even debating it. You know, it seems pretty much foolproof. I mean, you know, all you got to do is just keep it fucking sterile. You know, as long as you don't sneeze on the shit, you should be good. You know.
Yeah.
Like,
I can do culture any cut somebody sends to me, you know,
oh
before I
yeah.
play.
All right.
But I just haven't put my full trust into putting everything into it, you know.
Yeah, God forbid you fucking
Yeah.
something goes wrong and you lose them.
Yeah.
You know,
But and it can also help mitigate disease and viruses and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I still don't understand the whole fucking bringing them back thing. You know what I mean? Like fucking, you take a little piece, you stuff it in some goop, you know, you throw it on the shelf for a while, and then, you know, when you want to bring the fucking thing back and grow a plant, what do? Stuff it in some more goop? You know what I mean? Like the whole thing just seems a little off to me. It's, you know,
it definitely it involves some research, but yeah.
You know, hopefully they'll invent the fucking robot that can do it. You know what I mean? Just press a button, fucking boop boop, you know, and the fucking thing just
Yeah.
done, you know. But so let's see here. Doop 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 doop.
Yeah, Frank's corrected. Tissue culture can take it back to like a generation one.
Yeah, well, hold on a second. I lost my fucking thing here. It shut off. God damn it. Oh, you son of. Hold on. All right, here's one. So, have you ever kept the line entirely for yourself and not released it to the public besides the fucking Midnight Banana? Or whatever.
I mean, cuts. I keep. Yeah. So I mean, like if I feel like something's super special, yeah, I keep it to myself until I'm done playing with it. You know, just because I've learned from my mistakes. You know, I used to let the good stuff go, and you know, I would keep it and I would meticulously plan things, and it would take me 2 years. And next thing I know, this guy and that guy and that guy are already breeding with it, and you know, it's kind of, you know, I was just kind of like, here, you need to grow this, you know, have fun with it and enjoy it, you know, as a flower. And, you know, so that kind of hurt a little. And I've just learned, like, if I feel like something's super special, I just wait till I'm done with it. And then when I'm done, then I'll release it.
How do you keep detailed records of all your stuff? Is it all handwritten notes? Do you use spreadsheets, apps, or I mean, do you just mental bank it? Like,
I'm still mental banking a lot of it, but I mean, it's what I do all day. I mean, I don't do anything else. This is my life. This is my job. I mean, Monday through Sunday. So, you know, when you don't have a bunch of outside interference, you know, it's a lot easier, you know, to kind of stay in that zone. I mean, I write down, you know, the crosses, and I write down, you know, my favorite numbers and how they do indoor and outdoor and how they wash and stuff like that. I don't mental bank all that. But, you know, just as, you know, as far as the library and, you know, what each one needs and, you know, when I need to treat and, you know, all that. It's just doing it in my sleep pretty much at this point.
I hear that. What's the most challenging trait to stabilize in your opinion?
The most challenging what?
Trait to stabilize, like structure, potency, flavor. Like, is there anything that's, like really hard to like, get continuously through, generations or whatever?
I mean, stability in general. I mean, like every cross is going to have something different that's harder to stabilize on what you're chasing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like sometimes, you're going like for something. Like I said, if I'm working on a cherry and I'm looking for those cherry terps, and I got something that's, it's super cherry, but it's all over the place as far as structure goes. And obviously that's going to be the most difficult. But then sometimes, you'll get, almost complete uniform structure, but the terps are all over the place. And so, every strain is
Everything's a different chase, basically.
everything's different. It's, it just depends on what the project is.
I hear you.
So I had a question, Kevin. I kind of want to go back to the talk on like hermaphroditic traits, and people finding herms and stuff. And this kind of came up in the chat here as when we were talking about regs. It's common belief to think that when we're breeding femmes, that we're actually increasing the chance of creating hermaphroditic tendencies. Is for me, I don't think mechanically, just putting down the XX chromosome, that we're doing that to the actual DNA. I know we can get real deep into this. Now, what is your take on that as far as making femmes and coinciding that with also increasing the chance of herms?
I haven't seen any studies to suggest that is the case yet. And in my opinion, just from running thousands and thousands of plants, that's also not the case. I mean, sometimes it pops up in a generation, and that could be even with regs. It doesn't matter. Sometimes it just pops up, and it could not pop up for 2 generations and then all of a sudden just be prevalent. I don't know the rhyme or reason for it. And I don't think that there's really a lot of data to pinpoint where that's coming from. I think a lot of people can take guesses and then spread it all over the place and make it facts. But data about it, I've grown thousands of plants, and that's not. I don't feel like that's the case.
That's what I would have to say too. Is that there's not enough data to back up kind of either way. But in a theory in my head is that if it's there, it's there. We're mechanically, we're taking a female and making it produce pollen without a male chromosome. We're not introducing those traits into the strands of the DNA. If it's there, it's there. If it's going to pop up, it's going to pop up.
Well, because even rhodolization is a natural thing.
Exactly.
Rhodolization is when you let the plant go too long, at a last chance effort to reproduce, it creates a couple nanners and it tries to pollinate itself. It's a natural thing. So,
like I said, it boils down to the plant's going to do what it wants to do.
Yeah, the plant will fem itself. So it's, I don't know. I don't support that theory. Just from everything I've seen and ran.
Nature finds a way. You know what I mean? It's just like anything else. Nature finds a way. Yeah. And it's,
I'm hunting land-raised skunks, and there's lots of herms. And this is pure strains. You know what I mean? That were only regular. So I don't know. I really think I don't know what it is, but I think there's been studies going on about natural selection. So I think that has a lot more to do with it. So layman terms, when you breed, that pistil is like the canal, right? And the calyx is the egg that needs to be fertilized, and the pollen is the sperm, right? And so when it hits the pistil, right, in natural selection, just like air pollination, say 2 or 3 specks hit that hair. I don't know if a lot of people know this, but that pollen actually races up that hair into the calyx, and the fastest swimmer wins, right? It's just like us reproducing almost, right? And so I think a lot of times with breeders, just putting plants their pollinators right next to all their mothers, or just like dousing them with pollen, and not letting natural selection take place and just like pollinating the calyxes, and so, the fastest swimmers aren't, getting in that calyx anymore, so you're getting rid of natural selection. So like when we breed, we just go in the fan one day, twice a day, for a week, just like a tiny dust, into the intake, and we just natural select. But there are studies that suggest like that helps a lot with hermaphrodites and runts and just creating a stronger line altogether.
Well, yeah, you're getting the stronger genetic. It's just like with animals, like when they're fighting for a female, the strongest one is going to be able to get to breed. Yeah. Same thing like what you're saying, which I you don't hear that talk a lot with, especially the breeding process of the strongest one making it to the pistil, getting down into the calyx, and being able to pass on its genetics, and that's huge.
Projects now is just dousing them, so you're getting rid of natural selection altogether. Because
that's a good point.
Here's one for you. Have you ever had a plant so funky it grossed you out? And what did it smell like?
Like throw up.
Good way?
Or bad? No, not a good way, bad way. It's a nasty fucking plant.
Yeah. I've had a few. So right now I'm working on one. I'm going to F2. It's the Pure Chicago. It's the Goat Glue and Pure Michigan, and it is just the weirdest. Almost every person that's taken a smell has a look of disgust, and you move it away, but then you can't help but go back in.
Can't figure it out.
It's super funky, super gassy. There's like a little bit of just like something stank you never smelled before, and you don't know if you like it or not. I will be. But yeah, so I'd say that's the most recent.
The stem rub on that 7981 is fucking disgusting. That you can smell it's gonna. The second you start rubbing the stem, you can smell it. You're like, oh, this is gonna be fucking gross.
Yeah, I have the one you sent me, but I don't think it's the one you're talking about.
No, this is the other one. This is the fucking the dead body fucking one. Yeah,
so if you've ever smelled Mendo breath, it kind of has like that. I have the Mendo breath F3, and if you've ever smelled it, it smells like throw up almost. So yeah. I like to mess around sometimes, and I pollinated it with our Slurdy Mac, and we grew a couple phenos out from that, and I have to say that's the most disgusting terps that I've ever. It was like that gas mixed with the throw up that I was talking about, but there was just something about them being together was just extremely putrid.
Yeah, sounds delicious. One of those skunk smells Frank sent me is the alpha skunk vomit, and it smells like throw up.
Like fucking throw up, yeah.
Yeah.
I love gas. That's my favorite. I love gas, burnt rubber.
Yeah, burnt rubber is definitely becoming one of mine as well.
Yeah, burnt rubber is good, man. Fucking that's one of my favorite strains that came out is the Moneyball strain, and it's like tennis balls, burnt rubber, fucking what's that shit called? Cotton candy. It's the weirdest fucking combination of stuff, but that burnt rubber smell is so prevalent in it. But then you get like those sweet notes, and then you get that. It literally smells like a fucking brand new can of tennis balls when you smell it. You know what I mean? Like it's so bizarre. It's just got a combination of everything in it.
I've started using that explanation after you started saying can of tennis balls. I was like, that's absolutely perfect to describe it.
Literally, I spent years trying to figure out that fucking smell, and then one day I actually was in the store and I popped open a can of tennis balls to throw one at somebody that was acting like an asshole in another aisle. And as I popped it open, I'm like,
Moneyball.
I'm like, it's the fucking smell. I'm like, and then whip the fucking ball over the fucking thing and try to hit the bastard.
That's what our Fruit 38 is. Is exactly that. It's like it smells like someone did like NASCAR's did a bunch of burnouts in a glue factory. I don't know if you know who Juiced Up Genetics is, but when we crossed our it's not the Alien Genetics Fruity Pebbles, but it was like an S1 selection that we had that we crossed with the Dosilato. We sent a lot of seeds off to him, and the 38 is actually his selection. And he was like, hey, man, he's like, this is the stinkiest burnt rubber stuff that you've ever smelled. And then when he sent it back and we flowered it out, like you said, tennis balls, but like burnouts in a glue factory. It was absolutely the loudest, insane burnt rubber terps I've ever smelled.
Yeah, rubber terps are good, man.
I like the burnt rubber with some sweet on it. I think that's my thing.
Yeah, that's why I like that Moneyball, bro. You get that fucking burnt rubber and the what do you call it? But it smelled the taste as you fucking exhaled was literally if you just took a mouthful of fucking cotton candy. It was insane. It was so good, bro. And it was one of those ones that the terps, like, you ever take a fucking hit and it feels like the whole inside of your mouth coats with like a fucking layer of something. It was one of those. Like, oh, it was so good, dude. I would have.
Yeah, that football made fat golf ball nuts too, if I remember correctly. Seeing that.
Which one?
The Moneyball.
Yeah, bro. The fucking lowers on that thing were like fucking extra large eggs, fucking tangerines. They were fucking like this. The lowers on that fucking thing, they were nice.
Oh yeah.
That plant was such a good.
It was like a lemon tree.
I ran it like fucking 4 times in a row, bro, and it just got better and better and better. You know, now I'm waiting to get it back. Somebody's running a bunch of them, so I'm gonna get it back. But it's one of the best fucking plants, bro. The fucking top buds on it were like this, fucking just nice, big, fat fucks. You know. Let's see here.
Dave sniffed balls.
Huh?
Brian said you sniff balls.
Yeah, I sniff balls all day. Big balls.
Oh yeah, Eric is the only one left with our Dosilato.
All right, so here's one for you. So if the cannabis gods offered you unlimited breeding success, everything came out perfect, but you had to name all the strains after STDs. Would you do it?
Hell yeah.
Oh, great.
Blue waffle all day.
Yeah. You know, some people might get disgusted and roll their eyes, but
yeah.
Gonorrhea coming.
Yeah. Here's my new fucking. Here's my new strain. Fucking pussy. Fucking.
Purple herpes. Hey, purple herpes would be a good strain, man.
Yeah, purple herpes. Fucking. What's the nastiest, most disgusting terp you've ever created on accident? Pickle juice, gym socks, marinated fucking meat, you know.
That's a good question. Like disgusting in the way like I didn't like it, or like
like where it was just fucking repugnant, you know what I mean? Like there's just no value in it. Like it was just like one of those things where you had to just trash it because it was funky as, you know, just.
Sure. I don't know. Gotta think about that.
No worries. Fucking.
Yeah, it's like a long one, you know.
Yeah, there's you know, it's one of those things that fucking I know most of the bad ones that I've ever smelled. Like I forget them because it's just my brain doesn't even process the smells half the time. You know what I mean? Like I've grown people shit, and I'm like, oh, like great googly moogly, man. You know.
Right. And we through so many. Like if I, you know, like there was a few years I was running, you know, over 3,000 plants a season, right? So, you know, it's really easy to ignore a lot and only focus on the good. You know, I just never really paid attention. If I didn't like it, I just, you know.
Yeah, just tossed it.
Garbage.
Let's see here. What's the worst name you've ever heard someone give a strain?
I don't know. I don't really stay up to date with all the crazy strains.
Bro, it's almost impossible to stay up to date with strain names, bro. You know what I mean? Like it's one of those things. Literally every day, someone's coming out with another fucking 600 different strains. You know what I mean? It's literally impossible. I think I can't stand having fucking all these stupid names because I half the time I forget what the fuck I'm growing because I take the fucking tags out of it. You know what I mean? So at this point, it's just plant 1, plant 2, plant 3, you know, and then hopefully when it grows, I'm like, oh, that's what it is, you know what I mean? Like, let's go back to that, you know. So, let's see here. What else do we got here? I think we are. How do you how do you? All right, here's one for you. How do you like look at, you know, like do you evaluate the market for, you know, for trends and whatnot to breed with, or do you just kind of rock on your own fucking, you know, rock your own thing? You know, do you care about what's trending, what's hyping and whatnot when you're doing stuff? Do you try to stay in, you know, some of your stuff in that lane, or are you just, you know, making the left?
Yeah, so I will, if I like something, so I spend a lot of time getting all, you know, I have resources to get any cut I want. So a lot of the hype cuts let me down. I got excited, they let me down. I realized a lot of them are just hype cuts, right? They're just good marketing. But so if I like it, I'll incorporate, like, you know, say I do a line that's, you know, 12 different strains. I'll make sure there's like 2 or 3 high ones in there just to, you know, level it out. But a lot of times it's, you know, my own bank. Yeah.
Is there pressure? Do you think there's a lot of pressure to fucking to follow market hype, or do you think it's more or less just, you know?
I think like, if all you're worried
take
about
it or leave it.
And then, yeah, it's a lot of pressure. I'm just doing what I do, man. It's got to be my style. And if you don't like it, you don't like it. I don't really care. This is, you know, this is what I do. It's my art, and this is my style. This is what I like. And, you know, that's what I try to focus on. I mean, if I start worrying about what's going to pay me best, then I'm just going to be like the rest of them. You know what I mean?
Recipe for the day.
I agree with that. I think that, you know, anybody who's successful, fucking, it doesn't matter what it is, you know what I mean? If it's fucking has their own style, you know what I mean? Like even like me, I'm fucking over this way, you know what I mean? I'm over here now, you know, like fucking, I hate following fucking anything, especially like with fishing and stuff like that, bro. Like, I see guys out there fucking, you know, and I'm like, man, you motherfuckers are overthinking it, you know, like, just, you know, throw some bait in the fucking water and wait. Like, you know, there's guys out there that fucking have cameras on fucking lines and they're putting it down there and fucking searching. And I'm like, man, all that extra bullshit, fucking, you could have fucking laid an extra, you know, this many lines out and fucking found where the fish are. Instead, you're sitting there like a fucking asshole with a periscope, you know, fucking looking under the water, like, where are you, little fishies? You know, it's like, who the fuck wants to look in, you know? No, like me, I look at it like a pirate, you know what I mean? Like, you know, that you just got to be a fucking straight pirate with anything, you know? If you follow people's fucking leads, man, it just leads to, you know, bullshit. Like, you know what I mean? Like, can't be a fucking follower in any part, bro. You just can't be. You know what I mean?
When it comes to hype strains, I get excited when I see a cross of something that I really, really enjoy. So I really enjoy gelato a lot. I know that always comes up in crossings and stuff. It's like, you know, like the wedding cake was kind of like back in the day. But if I see something that has like gelato 33 in it and it looks like a good cross, to me it's like, hey, that's like someone did the work for me, because that's something that I would enjoy. I'm definitely going to, you know, try to acquire that cut or mess around with it or play with it or whatever. But when it comes to hype strains like that, and I see a cross that I like, yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and, you know, go after it. But for me, I love gelato.
It's fucking gas. It's the same goddamn thing over and over again. Gas.
I love gas terms, man.
It's like a fucking skipping record. You know, it's like fucking, you know, like Michael Jackson's Thrillin'. It's like, it is Thrill.
I hate when people use the word gas in the wrong context. Like, oh yeah, I got some good weed, man. Like, they're saying gas in the sense of that it's good weed. Like, no, let's start using it back for the terpene, and not that you have fire weed, because that you're starting to confuse people.
Sorry, old boy. Carofilene. What are your thoughts on the future of feminized seed breeding? Pros, cons, misconceptions, anything? Or do you think it's just going to fucking tank downhill eventually where it's just, literally.
Like we've touched on that a lot today, but
I think we did too, right?
yeah, I don't see it going anywhere.
No.
I think it's unfun. You know what? The funny thing is that certain people fucking in the industry can't even fucking do femmes right. You know what I mean? Like it's literally one of those things where, if you can't get that fucking right, spraying a plant. Well, first of all, finding something that's not going to fucking turn into a giant pile of shit. But if you can't spray a fucking plant and you've been doing this for 10 years and everything you have fucking herms out, green wolf, there's a problem with that. You know what I mean? Like, I think that's the problem with feminized seeds. That everybody.
It's not really guaranteed either that it's going to be a successful reversal.
Yeah, well, but you have to fucking be smart enough that it isn't. You know what I mean? Like, you just can't throw it out. A lot of guys, they'll fucking do it and, right in the fucking packaging, right out. And then, herms start happening and they blame the fucking grower. Oh, it's your fault. You know what I mean?
Even before that, even just reversing your plant and spraying it with STS, certain cultivars, just you're gonna get a lot of pollen sacs on that bitch, and sometimes it's just not gonna drop pollen, or it's gonna drop non-viable pollen. It's a huge trial and error when it comes to creating feminized seeds. It's
Peyton's a bitch like that. Peyton doesn't like to fucking sell for nothing, bro. Peyton's one of the hardest.
In my experience, the harder it is to reverse a plant, the more sexually stable it is. I don't have science behind that, but everything that I've read from a cultivar that I've tried many times, like spraying different times, different concentrates of the STS, and finally get viable pollen out of it, those seeds have been better off. So just through trial and error, I've seen that, if it's harder to reverse, it's a little more sexually stable than comparatively.
Here's one. What's the longest you've ever worked a single strain before you let it release?
Well, let's see. Well, that's
you said you F2 a lot of your stuff before you release it, right? You were saying?
I what?
I said you were saying that you do a lot of your stuff F2s before you release it, right?
Yeah. I mean, even like the stuff we're promoting now, like the Tropicana Tangerine and the Funkin' Chat. I mean, even those are, I created them over 3 years ago. I'm still working them before I release them, right? I just, I want them to be perfect. And the longest one probably, is going to be one of my my flagships that I haven't let go yet, So 10 years plus, and they're still going, and until I'm done and I finally release them, I'm done playing with them,
Nice.
That kind of ties into like you're saying, Kevin, things that you've had for so long is that ties into the work that you put into it, is like what how about that cultivar and how it performs. What prior work that you've done with it is like a big way into working your genetics, is knowing that cultivar.
Yeah, and it brings to the table with different varieties, and that's the other great thing about pollinating 30 or 40 different branches and then running them all and just seeing what comes of it before you release something. You also get to see what it brings to the table. You'll notice with different what it brings terp wise when you mix it with different terps, and what it brings structure wise and yield wise, and what you want to cross it with to bring it out. So yeah, you learn a lot about it.
So I'm gonna do 2 more questions, and then we'll get into some giveaway shit. We've been going for a minute here. So if you can give one piece of advice to someone starting their first breeding project, what would it be?
You asked me that, I thought. Run. Oh, to myself. So your first breeding project.
Yeah.
Take your
give
time.
Advice to someone starting their first. Yep.
Try a few different ones. Like I said, pollinate a branch of each one. Run them all. Run as many as you can. And work off that. Don't get ahead of yourself and just, go crazy. Now, if you're talking about being a breeder, or are you talking about just somebody just playing?
Somebody who's starting out breeding, whether they're fucking around or it doesn't matter. I mean, you want to, if they're playing around with it for themselves or if they're playing around with it to become someone who's selling it, it shouldn't, it should all be the same. I would think, you know what I mean? Like, the advice is, advice, because either way, if you're going to fuck with it for yourself, you want the best medicine. If you're going to sell it, you want the best medicine. You know what I mean? So I would think, I think you covered it pretty good,
I'd go back, don't dust it, natural selection, just slightly give it a little tick and let it do natural selection so you get more vigor and maybe like I said, run it yourself, do some test sprays, take a couple plants, spray them all at the same time, little cuts, put them in a little tent, collect your pollen sacs individually, dry them out, store them, see what drops pollen, what doesn't. A lot of people, like you said, some of them don't drop. Some of them drop pollen and it's not viable. Some of them are harder to turn. Some of them you spray every 4 days and you overspray. Try a few. Collect the pollen first, then go back and work it. You save yourself a lot of time.
So finish this sentence. Goat Genetics is going to change the game by
not flaking out.
It's a good one.
Caring about demand or having some kid run our breeding projects at farms, and if I can't ever keep up with it, then it's not what it is. It's got to stop. It'll always be passion, and
I hear, yeah. There's a lot of them, bro. There's so many fucking now, bro. The morals, ethics, and fucking values have gone out the window with a lot of people. You know what I mean? Like, that you have to keep a fucking, if you can't fucking, you can't sell something, you can't package something that doesn't have your fucking heart and morals and everything behind it. If you if you have a value system in your own life, the values to your customers should come out in your fucking work. You know what I mean? Like this stuff, I completely agree with it. Like me, like my passion fucking for fishing has just gone. So long doing it. Like now, I'm just doing it to train somebody that that's tipping over and whatnot. But I mean, once I started like where I was to the point where it became a job and not fucking what I love to do, I was like, I'm done. You know what I mean? Like, and I think that goes with anything. I think once you start looking at it where it's fucking, just you dread going to work, every day, or like you said, you got to hand it off to some fucking asshole that, the second that you turn your back, they're going to cut corners and stuff like that. It's just, it's time to hang it up, man. You know what I mean? Like, I completely agree.
That balance, it is because like he said, I mean, you still got to get paid to do what you love. Or you can do it,
Yeah, bro, listen, I had no intentions of it, but I'm not there with it no more. You know what I mean? Like I fucking dread going in there, bro. With the accidents I've had fucking over the last fucking 5-6 years on the fucking boat and stuff, I should have been killed like 4 or 5 fucking times, bro. Especially when that fucking rope burst and shot me across the deck like a fucking missile. Like it took my big ass, and at that point I was like 280 pounds, bro, and that fucking thing hit me in the chest and shot me back like 14 fucking feet, just like, I mean, literally like a cartoon, So I'm like, man, I can't. How many more of these fucking accidents am I going to take? I broke my fucking neck, I fractured my neck 2 years ago. I'm like, there's only so much of this shit you can take, It's becoming, I'm not going to be able to walk in fucking 10 years, So I said, it's time to go, So, yeah, and you know what? The weed thing, bro, I've always liked my weed, I've always fucking, I've been growing for a long time. And I like it, so I had the opportunities, that I knew were coming to take this step away from fishing, you know what I mean? So, and everything's starting to fucking fall into place now, like how I wanted it, and it was just time, man. You know what I mean? It was that time to fucking say, you know, see you later. You know, so every week we like to do some giveaway stuff. I know you were saying you had some stuff that you wanted to do. Usually we do trivia questions and stuff like that. I'm gonna pull up some good trivia. We'll pull up some good trivia.
How does it work? Like we'll just say, you know, what it is that you're giving away, and then you'll ask a question, and then
And the first person who answers, fucking whatever one pops up on the feed first, that's correct, they win a fucking prize. You know what I mean?
You collect the info,
huh?
And you're collecting the info.
Yeah. I collect all the info and I'll get it to you. You know. Let me find a pen. Yeah, I'll make sure that everything's documented and whatnot. You know, so that we know who gets what. You know. So, let's see here. So, I'm gonna do. Let me get a page here. So, hold on. I have to write this shit down because I will not fucking remember. I barely remember to put fucking bloomers on every day, fucking, let alone what people win. All right, so let me pull up some trivia here. Let's see here. You got any trivia in your head, Kev? You want to do?
No, I didn't even think about that.
All right, good. I'll do it. Fucking, I got a bunch of them here. Fucking, gotta love fucking AI.
There you go.
So let's start it off. What do you want to do first?
Well, here's what we'll do. I've got a bunch of unreleased stuff that it's right there. So like I said, I usually pollinate a branch. I get like 100, 150 seeds I run. I've got some that were really good that, you know, I've got extra stock of. We've already been putting, you know, stuff out about it. Crop culture's been growing them. So what I'll do is we'll just do 5 packs of those, and we will let winner pick which one they want. We'll give them a list of the different kinds and just let them pick what they want to rock with.
Works for me.
Some packs, you know, however many questions you want to ask.
All right, so let's see here. Oh, that one, nobody's going to get that one. Okay, I'm going to make these easy so that we can fucking, you know, don't have to have brain busters here because fucking last couple times we tried some of the harder questions. It was fucking crickets. So, first question. So, you guys get this, right? The first person who answers that we see on the feed, it's not what you see on the feed, it's what we see. So, no fucking arguments or anything. I did it first and all that shit because I'll just dead the whole fucking thing and we'll be done. So, first question. What famous cartoon dog is known for munchies and solving mysteries? First one to get it. It's a pack of unreleased. What cartoon dog is famous for munchies and solving mysteries? Scooby-Doo. There you go. Frank's Cattle Lounge.
Comments.
Huh?
I don't see comments or anything. I don't know.
Oh, really?
Supposed to. Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know. I'm
click on chat and then arrow over to comments.
What is it?
Click on chat, arrow over to comments.
You see it? So Frank's Cattle Lounge, fucking.
Okay.
Hey, technically that could be Courage the Cowardly Dog also.
Who the fuck is Courage the Cowardly Dog?
It's an old cartoon.
Enough with your fucking tomfoolery, buddy. So Frank, all right. So here's the other thing: if you win, you don't win again. All right. We like to let everybody have a chance, except for when we do the aero mixer. We let everybody get back in on that, except for if you won an aero mix already, because some fucking guys, you know, that are here every week. If you won an aero mixer, you're not winning another one. Just say that. All right. So I'll when this is over, I'll get the list from Kevin. And when I contact you all, Frank, I don't know if you're on Facebook or not, so I'm going to actually put my email up real quick. Just email me so that we can. I have have your information and whatnot. All right, and I can make sure you get your stuff. All right. So let's see here. Second question: which U.S. state was the first to legalize recreational cannabis? Let's see, who's got it? Which U.S. state was the first to legalize recreational cannabis? If you don't know this one, fucking nope. Jeff Arthur, nope.
It's a little different than.
Everybody's got the same answer.
There
you go. Colorado. Bob Carroll. Hey, Bob's got a pack of goats finally. Bob's been wanting to run your shit for a minute now. So Bob Carroll. All right. Let's see. Jay, you could do the next question. What do you got?
You say me?
Yeah.
Caught me off guard. Let's think of one. Okay. Since everyone wanted to comment California, so we'll start off with saying California was the first to legalize medical use of marijuana. In that case, what year did California pass law for medical marijuana?
I think I know this one. I think I know this one. Let's see who's gonna get it.
Jeff Arthur. Jeff Arthur got it.
Fucking hockey lips. Hockey lips gets it. Fucking hockey lips.
I got a question.
Huh?
I got one.
All right, shoot.
What was Ken Estes' most popular creation?
Ooh. Let's see who got this one. What was Ken Estes' most popular creation?
These Cali folks better know it.
Yeah, man. You know. What was Ken Estes' most popular creation? It's literally fucking. If you don't know this one, fucking, you better
one of the biggest cultivars of all time.
Yeah, it's literally hydroponics. What the fuck strain is hydroponics?
Brian got it.
Brian found fucking hydroponics. Go back to Arizona, pal.
Speaking of Ken Estes, I just want to butt in real quick. Something I'm excited about. So out here in California, you had Ken Estes cut, which was good, but in the Bay Area in the time of like 2003, 2002, it was referred to as like, hey, you got them grapes. And it was the NorCal cut of GDP. It was different from the Ken Estes cut. It was actually a more skunky, more purple, harder, grapey cut. And I was on the search for that for, oh man, it's been over a decade looking for it. Even here it was hard to find. And I just got it back in the library, and I'm super, super excited about that.
Nice. Let's see here.
That's all.
All right, so here we go. So, which comedy features the line, I love weed, I love it, followed by, but not as much as I love pussy? Who's going to get it?
What movie?
Yeah, what movie? What comedy features the line, I love weed, I love it, followed by, but not as much as I love pussy? Who's got it?
I don't even know.
Bro. Don't say it, Jeff, because you already won, you fuck.
Eric Page?
Oh, yeah, you got it. Half-baked. I'm so fucking high, I didn't even notice.
How come I don't remember that line?
I don't remember it either.
Well, it's in there, pal, like ragu. It's in there.
So Eric Page.
Eric Page. Nice. So that's our 5 winners right there. So we will do. Let me think. Hold on 1 second. Let me see if I got something up my sleeve besides an arrow mixer. Give me 1 second. Give me 1 second. I got something. Since every stoner likes to decorate their fucking cave with some fucking cool shit, we're gonna do one of these.
Hey, I got that right here.
We're gonna do a badass house and gardens banner. All right.
Hell yeah.
No.
Oh, fucking Jesus Christ! Shipping's on the winner. Fuck, I ain't shipping that goddamn thing. So.
Hey, those tubes are expensive, man.
Dude, they're nice. Fuck they're nice fucking nice banners, dude.
Yeah, they're good material.
Yeah, they're solid. So, I'm gonna make this. You know what? We're gonna actually
make it a hard one.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Bonus questions. Let's see here. This fucking stupid.
And then I'll do a pack of seeds as I always do.
Stoner trivia, medium difficulty. Let's see what we got here for the House and Gardens banner. I want a Roots one. Well, I want a hooker with cold hands, Brian, but fucking that ain't happening. So, all right. This. All right. So here we go. Which California city is famous for the Emerald Triangle, a mecca for cannabis cultivation? Let's see who gets it. Which California city is famous for the Emerald Triangle, a mecca for cannabis cultivation? Oh, man. We've said this like fucking 5 minutes ago, too.
I'm always talking about this.
Nope. Humboldt. There you go.
Grow Systems, LLC.
That's fucking Charlie. Charlie Bird.
So
good. You can pick it up on your way back from fucking upstate. Charlie House and Gardens Band. That thing's fucking huge too. It's like fucking 5 feet by like 4 feet. The thing's gigantic.
No, yeah, it's a large banner. I didn't think they were going to be sending one that big. As she said.
Yeah, sure she did.
Can you just let me fantasize, Dave? Ever?
Dear Lord, please give me the hog that I need between my legs, not the one that you gave me. All right, so you're on this one, dude. These are your seeds you're giving away, so that's on you now.
I'll let you pick the question.
Oh, motherfucker.
I want do a hard one.
All right. All right. Which U.S. president famously said he inhaled frequently? That was the point. Ooh, it's a good one.
Ooh, I don't know this one.
See if anybody gets it. It's a tough one. It's not too tough. Arcadia. Who the fuck's Arcadia?
They're still answering.
Obama. There you go. Saucy Skins.
Saucy Skins.
Saucy Skins. If you're not over on Facebook, because I don't know everybody's names on YouTube, just scroll up and get my email and just hit me with an email so that I can get your information. All right. Actually, let me throw it on there again. Fucking, I'm lazy, but hold on. Let me do it.
And then Dave will just text me and I'll send you out a pack. No, Clinton did not inhale.
Clinton, yeah, he's a half a fucking Fanuc fucking. I didn't inhale. It's like, bro, you're already fucking banging fucking teeny boppers in your office. Fucking, why not talk about the weed you were smoking? You know what I mean? Like, that's the worst thing that was gonna fucking come out.
When you're married to Hillary, you're gonna be looking other places. So,
bro, if I was married to Hillary, I'd fucking bang a fucking avocado if I had to. Fuck, that wrinkly fucking hag. You know, fuck. She's the worst, bro. I don't even know how you can get your fucking pack of.
She's kind of thick, bro.
You donated, Saucy? All right. No, what? We'll do it again. We'll do another one. We'll run it back since you're gonna donate it. We'll run it back because I don't. All honesty, I don't really mess around on Facebook too much anymore, and you know I don't even know who to give it to. So we'll run it back. We're gonna open this up to everybody, even if you won. All right. Let's see here. I'll make this. We got to make this one a little fucking tougher since we're gonna. Let's see here.
I got a question. If you want me to do it,
all right, go shoot.
When it comes to size and shape of a certain large cigar, that size is named after what famous United Kingdom president?
Oh, I think I know this one. What the fuck's his name again? I know the damn name. I know it now. It popped into my brain. Come on, guys. You gotta know this one. We'll give it fucking. We'll do a 30-second countdown.
I'll repeat it. A certain size and length of a cigar is named after what famous English president?
Castro? Fucking English president. Fucking Castro. Churchill. The fucking Churchill. The Winston Churchill.
Humongous cigar, dude.
And what the fuck is it? All right, so we are at the fucking pinnacle now. So we are gonna do a half off the fucking Aero mixer. So this gives you about, it's like $135 off, I think it is, or something like that. Like the thing costs like $280, so $140, you know, or something like that. I'm gonna make this one fucking difficulty level just a little harder. Starting trivia question, difficult. Let's see here. What do we get? Oh yeah, we're gonna separate the true heads from the posers here. Oh, Jesus Christ. All right, that's actually good. So, what is the primary acidic precursor to THC found in raw cannabis flowers before decarboxylation?
Somebody better get this quick.
Yeah.
Come on, guys.
Where's the trappers?
Where do we got here? Jeff Arthur, THCA. There you go. Wow, Jeff. Fuck. The fucking guy who said like pickle juice before for some answer, and now he's fucking getting the science shit right.
He must be
right. I don't know. I really don't understand that one. Fucking guy pulls that one out his butt. 50% off. Fucking Aero mixer. Jeff Arthur. Jeff, all I'm going to do is there's like a scratch off on the back. So I'm just going to scratch this off and send you the fucking code that you'll need instead of mailing this thing out. You know what I mean? It don't make sense to fucking mail it out since it's just a code. So just a few things I wanted to touch base on. So we have some cool stuff coming out fucking that I'm working with Hydrofarm on. We're going to be actually announcing a solo cup grow off through Phantom Cultivar, one of Hydrofarm's brands. They do the lights, the tents, and whatnot. Right? It's going to be you'll get a kit. You'll get the solo cup holder. You'll get a 3D printed cup. They'll be branded out with the Phantom cultivar, and you're going to get a genetic. The genetic is going to be a unreleased auto from who? From fucking the goat. Fucking, it's probably going to be sometime later August or beginning of September. We were going to do it a little earlier, but there was some logistics that got kind of screwy in it. But it's going to be happening 100%. You're going to get a really fucking dope fucking little package, man. You'll get the beans. You'll get the fucking solo cup holder. You'll get the cup. There'll be possible QR codes in the boxes that you instant win some shit. You might win a light. You might win a tent and whatnot. But the prizes at the end are going to be well worth it. The first through third place will be winning lights, tents. We're not sure exactly, how we're going to do it, but we're going to also have other Hydro Farm brands in there as well for prizes and stuff. Roots Organics, probably, possibly House and Gardens and whatnot. But it's going to be an unreleased strain. We're not going to say the name of the strain yet, but it's a good one. What was it, Kevin? You said it's an F2?
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's going to be something that's got some funky possibilities in it. Jeff actually says, "When's the Goat Cup this year?" It's in the fall. Just know that it's in the fall.
We have it in the fall, November-ish. I am struggling with location, so I'm not going to put a date out there until I can figure it out, because we got to do everything right. We got to go to the city. You got to find a place that allows smoking, that accommodates people from out of state. It's got to be a good area. And then you have to go to the city, and then you have to get approval. So it's a hard game, and every year we find something that gets up. So I'm working to try and find that place, but it's still going to be in fall around the same time, probably, mid to late November.
Nice. Yeah, the last year's was great, dude. It was such a fucking good event.
I also announced very quickly, right? So, I always wait till a certain time to announce, just so random people that don't usually go can't just jump in, and anybody who's loyal to us is obviously going to have the upper hand, because anybody who isn't growing our gear is going to have to pop immediately and get going, like literally within the week. So I do that on purpose, so.
Lewis Blizzy. So a couple other things I want to touch base on. Some of the people that we have coming on in the next couple of weeks. Hold on one second. I got to find my pages. All right. So next week we're on break for the 4th of July weekend, or whatever the fuck it is during the week or whatever. Then we have coming on July 12th, we have Dungeons of Dank. July 18th, we have Gambit Growing. They're a startup out of British Columbia, Canada. They got some cool stuff. They've been popping around on Instagram a little bit. I know Chris from Crop Culture has been working with them a little bit. Definitely got some cool stuff. They actually have something that they're I don't know when it's going to be released and everything like that, but it's basically a tent air conditioner. You ever see the air conditioners that like people use when they go camping and whatnot? Well, they've been able to modify one for grow tents, and it's not like that big giant clunky hunk of shit from AC Infinity, that takes up half of your room like a fucking chair. It's literally like a boombox size. It kicks out some insane BTUs and whatnot. It's still kind of in development and whatnot, but it's definitely one of the products that they're working on. I think it's pretty dope. It's something that I think is needed, and just nobody's been hitting the mark on it at all. You know what I mean? Like that thing from AC Infinity is just who the fuck's got room for a lazy boy in their living room that fucking makes noise? You know what I mean? Like I don't. So that Gambit Growing will be with us. They got a lot of cool products. Then July 24th, we have Kind's Magic Beans. Craig's going to be coming on. August 1st, we have Tarantula Genetics. After that, we have Canagen. Canagen is a new site. Well, it's been around for a little bit, but it's starting to pick up its traction now. It's a site for breeders, basically. All these sites like Strainly and whatnot, they basically rate breeders for fees and stuff. You know, they get you coming, they get you going, and it's just disgusting. I mean, they're taking like 30% of the fucking breeders' profits, you know, between all their insane fees and everything else. And there's not much of a margin, you know. So Canagen came out. They don't charge the breeder. They're going to be selling genetics, cuts, everything like that. But it's going to be eliminating all the lucky loos that have no fucking idea what they're doing and have no licenses, no business licenses, just no sense of fucking direction with their gear and stuff. They're not going to be on it. It's very professional. It's run by a dude who's been in the industry forever. He was a grower. He's had products out, very successful. He's backed up with a PhD. You know, she's absolutely a brain. They know what they're doing. So it's going to change the scope of how breeders fucking get paid. There's no middleman. It goes right to the breeder, right in their pocket. It's canagen.com. Check it out, because this is going to be one of the sites that, you know, is phenomenal, especially if you're commercial, or if you're let's say, the fuck do they call them, a seed bank or something like that, and you want stock. Well, it's going to help the breeder, you know, instead of having to go through hoops and whatnot, and they're paying fees, it goes right to them. So definitely take a look at it. You're going to start seeing a lot of guys on there. I know Jay's on there now. You know, a couple other fucking friends of ours are on there, but definitely worth it. So Mark's going to be coming on with us. We are in the middle of booking a couple other stuff. Also, we have Fat Nugs Magazine is going to be coming on with us. And I'm working on a couple other things. I don't want to give it away yet, but we have a couple of fucking, we have a couple other good fucking, good ones for you. Trust us. But keep a lookout for all that stuff. You know, we're constantly working on getting different people on here. You know, so it's not just the same. Company breeder. We're trying to get everybody in the industry, all different aspects and whatnot. So I'm pretty excited about it. And that's about it on my end. Jay, anything that you want to announce? I know you have a new line coming out soon, right?
We're just in the final stages of testing. Actually, Eric's in here right now. He's testing one of the crosses on it is the Butterfinger Runts. If you guys haven't seen Eric Page and his grows, it's definitely something to go look at. He's a fantastic grower, and I think can be part of our tester team. But we are closing in on dropping that. And then, just like Dave said, we got some cool folks coming on board of this show. I'm looking into a little bit outside of, like how he said, the breeder and the like lights and nutrients and stuff. I got a good buddy out here. His name's Luke. He's the only licensed distributor for psilocybin. He's running a lot of large farms out here. So we're going to pick his brain in the industry. It'll be a lot of fun. He also knows Julie from Skunk Magazine. We're hoping to even talk to her at some point, maybe. But we got a lot of cool stuff coming up. So you guys really, really, really need to stay in tune. Get your friends in here. Missing out on some good giveaways. And missing out on people like Kevin that actually have a brain and passion in for the game.
Well, let's not give him that much fucking credit. Yeah, I got this. But
we can never go without an unwanted Dave answer.
It's fucking.
It's great.
That's why
it's the Dave effect, we call it. But Kev, anything coming out on your end that you want to announce or anything? Anything you want to take the time or?
Yeah, I mean, we're going to be testing outdoors. We're doing the outdoor thing right now, testing everything. I'll be posting, just results from collabs and stuff. I have a lot of autos I'll probably be releasing. I've got some strains that I'll probably release soon. I never plan my release dates. I just kind of go with the flow. Once the season's over, or, planting is over and I get that little break between planting and harvest, I like to work on things and drop a few, and then after the season's over,
Back with it.
more out. Yeah.
Yeah.
So Dave, on that grow off you were talking about the solo with Hydro, where
Yeah.
does that place? Is that a social media thing? Is it on the?
We're probably gonna. Well, there's a couple things how we're fixing on doing it. We're actually going to use most likely like the Phantom Cultivar website to promote some of it or do the check-ins or whatnot. But we're going to be doing it, through social media also. There'll be, there'll be certain specific dates to check in. Hashtag and whatnot. They're going to be followed up on. It's going to be done right. But most likely. It'll either be through the Phantom Cultivar site or it'll get its own site, that Hydrofoam will put up for the duration of the contest, that it'll make it easier for the check-ins and stuff to make sure that people are on point. Check-ins won't be anything crazy, you know what I mean? Like over the duration of the contest, we're not going to do weekly check-ins, it's just in the beginning, especially that first, let's say 3 to 4 weeks, it's just boring, and you can only see so much green shit until it just, it's like, So most likely over the whole duration of it, I think it's easier to do like 6 over the entire thing, 6 to let's say 8 at max, because getting people to check in is a pain in the ass to begin with. And, but the whole thing is, if you don't check in and you got something going, you're not going to win because, it's only fair to everybody if there's check-in dates and, somebody who would have taken second, checks in everything, and the first place person fucking checked in 3 times. Well, tough shit. You know what I mean? Like, it's about responsibility also. If you're going to be in a contest, you should be responsible enough to fucking check in and follow up. If you paid for it and you expect to win, great prizes, then, it's just like that. But everything I think we have a meeting next week or the week after or something like that to try to sum it up, and get it all taken care of. But it's definitely going to be cool. It's going to be done right. It's it's definitely a step. But the brand's a great brand. And I think it needs more attention. So that's one of the reasons that I came up with the idea of doing it was it's the lights for a fucking the lights they have. The first light they came out with was the 250 GL, and that thing cranks, dude. Like, no bullshit. The coverage on it for a fucking light that's like this big is absolutely insane. It destroys any of the shit that's out there. Mars Hydro, all those 250s, for that category. It's got a fucking fantastic warranty on it. The tents are built like fucking brick shit houses. It's basically like a combination of a Gorilla and like a Cloud Lab tent, you know what I mean? Like, it's nice and sleek and but it's got that heavy duty like the original fucking the original Gorilla's got, and the zippers, you can't break these zippers, and they have the double flap on the back, so when the zipper comes up, they actually the flaps overlay, so there's no way to get a light leak through the zippers. They're done real right, and you can hang off the top of them. My big ass was hanging off the top of mine. It's rated for 250 pounds. So you can fucking literally hang off of a 2x4 tent and it ain't coming down, So if my big ass is hanging from a 2x4, any of these little motherfuckers can go in there and hang upside down like bats, What?
What do you run?
What'd you say?
What lights do you run?
I run Photobio MX2 680s and GL 250s. And I'm going to be running Black Dogs also now. Black Dog LED, fucking, I'm going to be running some of their gear too. So those are fucking beast lights. I don't know if anybody's ever seen those, but that's one of the first LED lights that ever came out, was Black Dog. And,
I'm still rocking CMH.
Yeah, well, you're fucking special.
What is your favorite light to run?
Who? Me?
No, you already answered.
I was gonna say, didn't I just say it?
No, I still like to run ceramic metal halide, especially in winter. I don't know. I love the just the spectrum it puts off, and plants seem to really love it.
It's not even the light; it's the bulb. You know what I mean? Like fucking the light can be anything. You can grab any hunk of shit CMH. It's the bulb. What bulb?
Yeah, I use the Ego Green I forget like the bullshit numbers on the next of it, but it's got real good PPF and TRI and all that stuff.
Nice.
I think it's like $90 a bulb or some shit like that.
Yeah, those
but
bulbs
I've never had one thrown out yet.
Yeah, those bulbs are not cheap. So, but they work, you know. But the only thing is, I can't even imagine with how fucking California's electrical bills is going through the roof. I can't imagine how much those things cost to fucking run, dude. You know,
my light bill is very high.
Yeah, you need to get some fucking LEDs, man.
I got some quantum boards and stuff like that. I just when it's winter, I like to use the lights as a heat source, so I keep the CMH around.
Yeah, well, I was so fucking happy when I got rid of those goddamn things, bro. I mean, I was like, I danced the jig, dude. Fucking, you know, I was shaking and jiving like I was fucking Michael Flatley, Lord of the Dance, right down the fucking street. You know.
I mean, RDJ sent me their 720, and like, I like it.
That fucking thing out the window.
It's been good so far.
Yeah, it's been good so far until it isn't. You know, I'm surprised you got the whole fucking light in the mail. There was some issues with that. You know, they only light company I ever fucking met that forgets to put the light in the box. But all right, guys. Well, I could sit here and fucking make fun of companies all goddamn night. So,
we know you can.
But anyway, Kevin, man, thank you fucking for hanging out, bro. I know that fucking this was torture for you, you hermit. Yeah, he doesn't like to fucking do these things. You know, now I'm gonna have to fucking send him a check to fucking, you know, the check's in the mail.
We started an outdoor growing one, you know, and we can dude. All kinds of stuff.
Listen, like I said, I'm gonna try to fucking to do that. I would love to come out, you know, to I wish you'd had the Goat Cup at the fucking same time you're doing the that shit, man. You know what I mean? Because I would come out there and do it in a heartbeat. But I definitely want to try to get out to Chicago before the season's over and do the fields, you know. So, but we'll talk, you know.
Come out in August. That's probably the best time.
Yeah, I'm thinking about it, like, because there's a few things I gotta do this year as far as going to places. So I'm thinking I'm probably gonna make it happen. Man, this fucking thing just won't stop dinging. Who the fuck is sending all these goddamn messages? All I hear is ding, 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 like a typewriter going off. All right, well, guys, thank you everybody who showed up and hung out, man. Everybody who wants some stuff, we'll be in touch. And Kevin, man, as always, bro, thank you so much, man. You know, it means a lot that you took the time out, bro. I know you hate this, dude. You know, I know that it's not your favorite thing, but I know everybody appreciates it, man. They really do, you know. We really do. It means
appreciate you coming on, man, for real.
You know.
Yeah.
So, but that's it, man. Jay, as always, brother, thank you, man.
Oh, it's always great, man.
And like I said, next week we're off. We might just do like a little, you know, hour long or something like that, you know, just to mess around with some plants or something next week. But as far as guests, there's nothing. So everybody have a safe, happy 4th of July. Don't blow your hands off. You know what I mean? Fuck, you know, just.
Well, I'll be getting those calls.
Yeah, I'm sure, bro. Take videos.
Yeah.
Take videos. Hold on a second before I reattach your fingers. Let me get a picture of this.
I got. If you don't care, I have some pictures to send you, Dave.
Oh man, yeah. Oh yeah. I don't care, bro. Are you kidding me? I'll post them. So anyway, guys, have a great night. All right. Yeah. Fucking clean my fan my ass. That fan's been running for fucking like 3 years.
Don't turn that fan off. It'll stop working.
Exactly, bro. That thing, it ain't turning off. That's exactly it. That fan's been running for years now, bro. And I know if I shut it off, I'm fucked. So, but anyway, everyone, have a good night. Thank you for chilling, and we will see you.
Thanks again, Kevin.
July 12th, I think. Kev, man, thank you, brother. And I'll be in touch to give you all those names and shit. All right.
Sounds good, man. Take care.
All right, guys. Have a great night.
All right, guys.